buddy. Good to see you.
Likewise.
Hey, I was going to tell you, I know you're a big Carolina Panthers fan. I like that. And
Sad, yeah.
my whole life, I've had sucky teams. It's terrible.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like
Very frustrating.
my whole life, all bad teams. And so, like, when I see you consistently love on the Panthers, like, I'm like, I felt that. Like, good for you.
Yeah. It's been a long road.
We went to training camp last year, and I have this Panthers ball that we took. And so Bryce Young signed it, and which is cool. Yeah, but you know who else signed it? Frank Reich. And so he's not the coach anymore.
Yeah, R.I.P. to
So it's like, do you think the ball's more valuable or less valuable?
I would think more.
With a coach
awesome
that's been
guy.
fired, though?
He's also a former Panther, though.
And also, he's the one that won the Bills, Oilers.
Yep. He was the backup. His last 1 or 2 seasons as a player was with the Panthers.
So I think if we add your signature to it, because we keep it here, I feel like that works on this ball.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Carolina Panther ball.
It could work.
Okay,
it could work.
Sign the bottom of that. Yeah, absolutely. We got to keep
idea.
Eddie from signing stuff around here.
I don't have a Sharpie. I'm good.
Yeah.
Look at this Sharpie, dude.
Yeah, dude. We only go big fat Sharpie around here.
Like an oil can, dude.
You have your beer endorsements. I have half off Sharpies. That's what I get.
What's that one called, Bones? The Magnum?
Yeah, of course. That's all I do is Magnums. Yeah. This song on the Twisters movie, it's really good. I first saw it on the movie trailer.
Yeah.
When did they come to you, or did you already have the song? Like, what was the process with this? Write it for the movie, or write it because of the movie?
Write it for the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Got reached out to, via management. They're like, hey, they're putting together this soundtrack for this movie. I was a huge fan of the original Twister, which was, one of my favorite movies as a kid. And I was excited when I heard they were, kind of making another movie in that franchise. And they were like, hey, we're just looking for songs. I believe the whole soundtrack is original music that's actually written for the movie. So I just felt like it was a kind of an exciting opportunity to write something that's not for me. That makes sense?
Sure.
It doesn't have to necessarily fit any kind of theme of my thing, or I felt like I could almost kind of step outside of my little comfort zone.
Do they show you parts of the movie or the movie to write?
I didn't see any parts of the movie at all to write it. So I kind of got on a Zoom call with Jonathan Singleton and some folks from the movie and the soundtrack team, and they essentially were just firing us here's what we're thinking, here's ideas, it was a lot of buzzwords and themes and descriptions of things, and so it was interesting kind of writing it without having seen anything or knowing. Obviously, if it was a movie I was unaware of, if Twister didn't exist, that would have been a lot more difficult to not kind of have some idea of what was going to happen. But it was fun. It was exciting to do. It was a really fun time.
Is it weird to put out a song and have it be a single and it's not part of your own project?
Yeah, it's first time doing that for sure. So we'll see how it goes. I guess take some sort of calculated risk to some extent here, but it just felt like an opportunity to do something, I guess, a little bit outside of my comfort zone.
Ain't No Love in Oklahoma. Where'd that come from? The title? Was the title first? What was the idea?
It was, so I came up with the title in that kind of during that Zoom call. So I had kind of my notes out on my phone during the Zoom call, and as they were talking about things and we were having discussions about what they were looking for and stylistically what the direction they were heading, I was making notes in my phone and trying to come up with titles and ideas. And one thing that they kept saying was there's no love, there's not a love story in the movie. They kept saying that. The movie obviously takes place in Oklahoma, so the idea just kind of popped in my head. I have a bunch of ideas probably in my phone from that. I'm sure I have that note in here of things that I was thinking. I'm not sure if I can find it, but
there's not a love story. I watched the trailer. I felt like there was maybe they just trick you, like a Jim and Pam, The Office romance, where the whole time you're like, are they?
They definitely said there was undertones.
Okay, I love an undertone.
I love it.
I love an undertone.
I don't know if I could ever find that note again. I have so many notes in here.
Let's come up with our own ideas for tornado songs from the movie Twisters. How about this? Twist and shout, but not too loud.
Oh, wow,
how about
good.
Dorothy? Does anyone hear Dorothy? Now that I'm just coming up with crap because Dorothy Wizard of Oz tornado landed on her.
Could you do We're Not in Oklahoma anymore, or is that too close to We're Not in
mean?
Kansas anymore?
Oh, sure. That's the same kind of thing there.
Remix. You could do the remix version.
How about two fronts meeting?
Because that's
face
a tornado.
to face.
Yeah,
Face to face.
Yeah. I saw your face on cans of Miller Lite.
Yes.
Do you get unlimited cans with your face on it?
I don't know if unlimited. I think there is to some extent a limit. I actually don't have any at home.
Do they send you one single before one of my books went out, they'd send me one book and go, let's look at it. Do we like it? Do they send you one beer can with your face on it and go, do you like it?
We actually went up to the Miller factory in Milwaukee and did a tour and got to see them like flying down the line and stuff, and it was sick.
I just picture everybody drunk running around like, I'm drunk on beer, free beer.
In the brewery?
Yeah, that's what I picture. I never been to a winery or anything like that.
Yeah, it was like insane. This place was massive. And it's a big time operation going on there, you know.
Do you ever wish that you could wear like a tuxedo on stage at a concert or something like a sport? Because you have the luxury. When you started, you were like, I'm freaking Luke Combs. This is what I wear. This is how I sing.
Right.
Like Jimmy Buffett would always wear
flip-flops.
But I met him and he was like, dude, I like to wear normal clothes. Like he wanted to sometimes wear normal clothes. Do you ever like want to go out and like a tie,
gym shorts,
just something that's not like your image to work out in?
I don't know. I mean, I just feel like I'd be kind of really uncomfortable doing that. I mean, I've worn like hoodies before. I mean, I was like, whoa, really stepping out here outside my comfort zone. But
real fashion
when
risk.
When it was right, yeah, it was like almost Met Gala-esque for me to come out in the hoodie, you know.
Is it like the Steve Jobs thing where you don't want to have to worry about what you wear, so it's just easy, you just go?
Pretty much. That was kind of the idea. Is like I don't have to think about it, you know. And it worked. So
yeah, are you kidding?
No one's ever been like, man, I wish this guy would wear a different shirt all the time. You know?
Do you ever just wear the same clothes all day and then just go on stage in those clothes, or do you put on new normal clothes?
I put on I pop the jeans and the boots on.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not wearing the black PFG. Maybe it's just another color or something, you know.
You still playing golf?
Oh, yeah.
Can I tell a rumor I've heard about you?
Yeah.
You take a tour pro on the road with you?
I don't know about a tour pro. A PGA pro though. Yes.
Okay.
Like a club pro.
What's the difference?
Tour plays.
Okay.
Like a real player.
No, we don't have like a tour.
But you do take
out.
like a coach. On the
Yeah,
road.
so he's a friend of my utility player Kurt. So I met him years ago. He was just one of Kurt's buddies who was coming out. He's a club pro at a course in Boston, and just like awesome guy, fits in with our crew, and like he flies out for the weekend
and that's his job. Just if you decide to go to the range, what if it rains and you don't go to any golf thing at all, but he's out with you?
We have a track man.
Oh, you do get something in anyway.
Right. So I try to do something every day when I'm out there. Like I just try to like be productive when I'm out there, because like the kids aren't out with me out there. Nicole's out every once in a while. So really it's like we do that. Like I run on the treadmill. I wish it was like, I could be like, man, it's crazy out there, you know? Like, I feel like people have this imagination of, like, what it's like.
Like tour culture, party culture, not always.
Sure. And, like, sometimes it maybe used to be like that at some point. But, like, you got 2 kids, man. It's a lot of naps, you know? There's a lot of naps going on out there.
I was watching something you posted the other day. Is a dad song?
Yep.
You writing a lot of dad songs?
I'm writing a lot. Yep. I enjoy that. I mean, it's just kind of where I'm at. Like, headspace-wise, it's hard to write a breakup song when you're not breaking up. You know what I mean?
What about like a concept dad album?
Could be good. You know, I've been thinking about doing something like that for a long time, and I could see that happening for sure.
I've been thinking about a concept uncle album.
Ooh, uncle songs.
You are an uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Time for me to leave. Be the number one.
Yeah.
Number one song.
Don't
Time for me to go.
Yep. Whenever you have a bit of success, you start to be able to do personally cool things, meet people from when you were kids that were super cool. Mm-hmm. Who would that be for you that you're like, this is super cool? I always was a fan of this person. Now I get to call him a friend.
Gosh.
Let's do different arenas so I can give you some specificity here. Sports.
Peyton Manning.
That's awesome.
For sure. He's awesome. He's like the nicest guy ever too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Music.
Oh gosh. I mean, Willie Nelson was up there on the list for me. I mean, I can't say we're like buddies and we're not like hanging out all the time. I've hung out with him before though, which was awesome.
Like entertainment, like acting or comedy type thing.
I don't know if I've like met a bunch of like I don't spend any extended amount of time with anyone.
You have no actor buddies at all you could text, or comedian buddies?
Not really. Not really. No.
That's where we need to put our efforts.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need
more Hollywood friends. We need a Hollywood you up a little
Tom
bit.
Hanks.
Yeah.
We need to find him.
Yeah. All of our favorite people. Let's try to get you hooked up with. We're going to App State to do our football show. We're going to go work out with the football team.
Really?
Yeah. You can go if you want.
Awesome.
But like, what is your like? I saw this. Did you like sold the stadium out there? Is that one of the coolest shows for you because it was so personal?
For sure. Yeah, and it was my first stadium show too. So it was just it was nuts. It was on a whole nother level.
I saw a show that you did recently. The picture on Instagram. And it was like your biggest show ever. Where was that?
It was at Penn State at the football stadium there.
Do you get nervous before you try to sell your biggest show ever, or are you just like, let's just see what happens? It's gonna be awesome either way, and then just enjoy it if it goes right.
Yeah, I don't really get like worry myself too much about that stuff. Obviously I really want all the shows to do well. I want them to sell really good. I want there to be a lot of people there. I mean, ultimately that's the goal. But yeah, man, I don't get caught. I don't have time to like worry about it these days. I'm worried about like, I spend enough time with my kids, like that's once you worry about that stuff, like everything else just becomes kind of trivial. After that,
get your swings in and write your dad concept album. You can't worry about
absolutely,
that stuff. Is it different performing that show to such a big stadium? I mean, just technically speaking, do you have to approach it differently?
I don't think so. I mean, the stadiums are, our setup doesn't differ for those. Like, right, if you play a stadium with 40,000 people in it or 80,000 people,
no, there's no difference.
There's not really any difference as far as what we have to do. The Penn State show is challenging just because I think that was only the second concert they've ever done there. And obviously those stadiums were built at a time when there weren't really concerts going on, even in an arena level. That didn't even exist. So there's not really like green rooms. There's not like facilities for like all the staff. Like the newer like NFL stadiums and stuff, they have so many rooms and like auxiliary spaces for everybody to go and shower and spend time in their green rooms or whatever it is. But at those places, it doesn't. Like when we played Ohio State a few years ago, I didn't even have a green room. There wasn't even a green room at all for anyone.
So what did you do?
I was on the bus, and then my guys are all like in hotel rooms.
Do you have to remind yourself to look all the different places though? Like, don't neglect upper left side because I feel like it's so much.
You gotta you definitely have to like, because I mean, obviously the jumbo like Tron screens help so much with feeling like if you look in that direction, I feel like people can really tell that you're looking at it. But it's wild. There's a lot of people out there.
Do you ever fake that you're looking at somebody specifically, or like you hear something you really don't? You're like, oh yeah, I'll play that song for you. Like you ever fake that?
No,
man, because nobody can know if you're lying or not. You'd be like, oh, you want to hear Hurricane? All right, he wants to hear it. Let's go.
Like make up a guy that requested a song.
Yeah, nobody can prove he's
not there. That's a good move though.
Yeah, like you want to hear the new one? All right, I was gonna play all the hits, but I can play a new one.
I like that. That's a good strategy.
Be like, okay, all right, well, he's a man of the people.
I may have to do that now.
Yeah, congrats on everything, man.
I've always thought about like, has there ever been someone who's like planted a guy with a sign?
Oh, for sure.
Like, has any artist ever like sent someone from their crew out, and it's like, you're my hero, play this song, and they're like, I'm this guy's hero.
Wrestling.
Like, has that ever happened?
Wrestling for sure. They do that
Wrestling
a lot.
Definitely happens.
And I would compare they're very similar, your show and like WrestleMania.
Sure. Athletic, like from a physique standpoint, you're saying.
I was just saying like fireworks, dynamic.
Oh, I was saying like strictly like if you saw a WWE guy with his shirt off and me, you would think.
Well, I did see Roman Reigns. I was like, Reigns.
You were like,
my bad. Yeah, that
got
was
it. It's easy mistake, dude. Easy mistake to make. Yeah.
I bet you they would stick signs with people more than put fake people.
So you're saying just tell people to have signs?
No, I'm saying they make the signs themselves
and give them
it
to fans, not send a guy out with a sign.
Correct. Because I think you kind of see somebody take their lanyard off with their sign, and they unwrap their sign and take their backstage pass off. And
I just think there would be such a risk to that person not following the like whatever you expected to happen.
But if you take them from the back and give them to the front, they'll hold whatever sign up you want,
fair.
period.
That's fair, but what if it's, I don't know, what if there's some sort of...
You have spies? Are you worried about spies? Like coming in and taking down the operation? You got some real paranoia here, man. I don't know.
I was just thinking if I was going to plant a guy in the crowd with a sign,
yeah,
and I needed that person to perform a specific task, I would know that guy can get it done because he knows the deal.
But
if I give it to someone and go, here's the deal, and that guy's had 7 tall boy beers.
But all he's gonna do is hold the sign up. I would worry the other way.
What if there's a after the sign moment? Is what I'm saying.
What
if the sign's like, hey man, so I'm your hero, right? Dude, then you're telling what's happening, dude.
But here's what you have to fear about the other way is that
your
your fans would eventually know the people that work on your crew, and they'd be like, "That's Clint. That's not a real. That's
guy,
Clint holding a sign."
That guy.
They would know that. So anyway, just stick with it.
That's true.
So maybe let's just not do that at
No,
all.
no. We're going to figure out a way to do this.
Keep it authentic.
One final question. I saw the picture that Post Malone posted of you guys hanging outside the studio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any comments on that?
Oh yeah, this is awesome, man.
No, I mean, any comments on what you guys were doing?
We were definitely writing songs for sure.
Writing songs.
Yeah, writing songs.
Got it.
Yes. That was fun, man. That was a lot of fun. I wrote with him a bunch of times this year, like 5 or 6 different times.
You like him?
Oh my gosh, he's like the sweetest dude ever. Yeah, he's unreal.
That's cool. I'll say that about you, and you're not around.
Well, thanks.
Sweetest guy ever.
That. Appreciate
unreal.
that.
Yeah.
I try.
You said earlier you put songs in your notes app.
Mm-hmm.
Do you lock any of them? Because you could do that.
No, I was unaware of that.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have to now
you
that
can-
it's on the radio that my notes are unlocked, whatever that is.
Well, you have a password on your phone though.
True, I do.
But I guess if someone get in there, you might. If you've got some good ones in there, you might want to lock the
It's
notes.
like I do, Comb 69. Oh, crap. I just said that too. Okay, so Luke's got Ain't No Love in Oklahoma from Twisters, the album. He's got shows all, you don't need my help with shows. You're killing it. Everything's awesome. Life is great. You look great. You seem great. Thanks for signing our ball. Anything for Luke before we let him go?
Oh, man.
All right, we did it all. There he is, our friend and yours.
I'm curious about something.
Oh, right at the last minute.
I like
Let's
it.
go.
I like it.
Just since becoming a dad, which now multiple children
Yep.
sort of changes. Like you said, your life is totally different
Oh,
now,
gosh,
even in
yeah.
your songwriting. But what's something that you have learned about yourself since becoming a parent? That
Gosh, I feel like there's a lot of things, right? I just feel like it unlocks something, right? Like I don't know if you feel that way, but like to me it's like it's a part, at least for me, like a part of your brain that you didn't really almost have access to or something until your kids were born, at least for me.
Like an emotion you didn't have access to?
I don't even know. Yeah, I think for sure that my whole life, I have there's things about myself that are different now, and I feel like in a good way, right? Like the way I approach things or my ability to make myself do like I work out every day, and I don't want to do that. I've never wanted to do that in my entire life. But now I do that so that I can be around my kids longer, right? Like that's the goal ultimately. Like, and I've applied that, whatever you want to call it, that work ethic or whatever to. And I've always had that work ethic with music because music, I feel like, came easy to me. And that's not in like a bragging sense. I just really feel like it was something that, like, I've always been good at. So it was never difficult for me to apply myself to my career because I just love doing it. I love writing songs. I love singing them. I love playing them. So that was never like a challenge for me. But like things as far as, like for example, my health, right, has always been something that's been a challenge for me. Or like my want or my need to, I need to be healthier. I need to do this. I need to do that. I was not that I was never concerned with it. I was, but my ability to kind of push through that, whatever the mental block that I had going on with it, like has completely changed. Like since I've had the kids, right? I'm still not the picture of health. I'm aware of that, but it's my children have given me, it's like a reason to do that.
you have a different filter now.
It's a different, every
New purpose?
decision you make is like,
Filtered to
when
them.
I go, hey, I want to spend my time doing this thing? And that always stacks up against, would I rather be spending time with my wife and my kids or doing this thing? As to where before it was like, yeah, that sounds fun, I'll go do that. Now it's like, yeah, that sounds fun, but like, I'd rather see my kids 3 days this week and then work 4 days, or work 3 days and see my kids 4 days. And then on my off time, I'm not like, yeah, we should fly out to, wherever and go on a moose hunt or something. You know what I mean? Like, I would have done that at some point before I had kids, And not that I won't do those things in the future, but they're fewer and far between. I hate to say like it's like I'm boring, because I'm not, right? Like, I would much rather spending time with my kids is the most important thing to me.
Last question: did you change diapers yourself?
Oh, millions of them.
Because Eddie didn't.
Not to my last one.
He had his 4 boys. Never changed a
no
single
diapers
diaper.
at all.
Not
until the
really.
last
Maybe
one?
like 5 max on each kid.
I get 5.
Dude, that smell is terrible. I mean,
Dude,
that's the worst.
Wait, even just pee diapers.
Oh, those are fine, but I never did that. I would just act like I didn't smell it.
I like that Luke has a nickname for diapers.
Pee diapers, man. Yeah.
Diapers.
Yeah.
So you would know.
Yeah, I would know, and then I'd be like, "Really? It's full."
You had no
I didn't
idea.
even realize that.
No
Wow, that's
idea.
crazy.
So that's kind of the sign version. Like, he was the guy with the sign. And he was like, "Oh my god, I didn't know there was."
I didn't know the plan.
Had a few
stuff
too
in
many
there.
tall boys.
Like, I didn't know there was anything in there.
Luke, hey, good to see you, buddy.
Likewise. Thanks, God.
It's a